Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of Evolving Perspectives. My name is Mattea Elise, your podcast host, and on this podcast, we dive deep into the stories of everyday people, discussing the hurdles they face and the triumphs they've achieved. We have real, raw conversations where we laugh, we cry, we uncover the incredible resilience within us all. From overcoming personal setbacks to navigating life's unexpected twists, each episode that you tune into is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to persevere and thrive. Tune in as we share moments of vulnerability, inspiration, and ultimately empowerment. Get ready to be uplifted and inspired as we showcase the unwavering strength of the human heart on Evolving Perspectives. Chime in. Well, hey, 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 and welcome to another episode of Evolving Perspectives podcast. My name is Mattea Elise, and I am your podcast host. And when I tell you I am fired up today, I am fired up today. I am so excited about my guest for today for so many different reasons. I think because if anybody has been following this podcast, you know that the premise of this podcast is all about following people as they have evolved in their life, family, and work. And I think one of the things that brings me the most joy in life is when I see how people have evolved in every area of their life. And when I think about my guest today, I am super incredibly proud of the progression and the evolution of who he is, who he's become, and what he's striving to be. I have seen him literally grow up right before my eyes. And tears really just feel, y'all know I'm a crier, but I'm a hold back today. But I am so very proud of this young man. And I cannot wait for you all to hear all the great things that he is doing and for him to share his story with you all. Make sure you are locked in because this is about to be an amazing episode. So I would like to introduce to you all my guest for today, Stephen Thad. Welcome to the podcast.
What's up? That was such a beautiful introduction, Miss Mattea. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. This is incredible. Incredible. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So, of course, I know you, but I would love for you to share with our audience who you are, what you've been doing, what you're doing now, where you plan on going, and all the things.
Of course. So, yes, my name is Stephen Thad. I'm from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, the Maryland part of DC, Maryland, Virginia. And I've pretty much been singing since I was a very, very little kid. I'm an R&B singer, songwriter, artist. And I started singing when I was a very, very small child with my two sisters, Sierra and Shantae. We would accompany our parents to various different choir rehearsals all the time. And there was one particular time where we took the songs that we were hearing in rehearsal and had our own like mini poster rehearsal at my parents' house in my sister's rooms. And our parents heard that. And they put their ear to the door. They thought it was the radio, they said. And they put their ear to the door and was like, wait, no, that's our children. They're singing. They're singing the songs we rehearsed in choir rehearsal today. And the rest was truly history after that. It was history.
I love it. I love it. I think for me, because I have known your family since you all were like kids, honestly. And with I'll say teenagers, because when I came into you guys' family, it probably you were like probably at the beginning of high school or middle school.
Yeah.
And the girls, of course, were like middle school. And so I remember, like, when you know somebody and you're kind of like, oh, that's Steve, oh, that's Shantae, that's and then I remember going to, I think it was one of the first recordings that you all did. And, just engaging with you all as a family. For me, number one, you all are very special to me. And you have been such a great part of my life and my family's life. So I was already feeling some type of way because I'm like, this is my little brother and my little sisters. And so when I heard, and you all would I would hear like little things you all singing around, like just humming or whatever, and like little snippets just, from coming to the house. But when I saw you all on stage for the first time, when I tell you I cried the entire time, like the entire time, I could not control that. I was like, oh my God, because I think, oh my God, I'm getting choked up. When I tell you, it's like I saw you all, but when I heard you all together
Mm-hmm.
and just, it was so beautiful. It was so Number one, I just love families that are tight knit.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a very close family.
Yes.
Excuse me. I come from a very close family. So that's very important to me. And I know how you all operate and flow with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, needed some water. Um, but to see you all on stage for the first time, I was just so taken aback because I saw, number one, how committed you all were, even at home.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that your parents were very adamant about was, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it right. And we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to just put out anything. Like, it's going
Yeah.
to be with excellence. So whether
Mm-hmm.
it came down to how, with you all going to school and your grades, it was like, no, you're gonna do the best that you can do. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like, I'm just gonna let you skate by and you just gonna sing and it's a hobby and that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents were like, yeah, y'all sing and yes, we do rehearse, but them grades better be on point.
Yep.
And
You
so
already
I
know.
remember that. And so, first of all, let's pause right there
Mm-hmm.
because let's rewind. Because see,
Uh-huh.
people know you as the artist,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know if they know. I don't want to tell your story, but
No, you're
please
fine.
tell the people what was your title in when you graduated from high school? You were
Yes.
what?
To your point, yes, we're doing music, but also our grades did have to be on point, and it not necessarily was something that our mom instilled that in us at a very young age because she taught us everything that we needed to know before we got to kindergarten. So we were very well versed with the importance of education. So by the time we got to middle school and high school, we were kind of carrying that mantle on our own, and our parents really didn't necessarily have to look behind us and check our work and do all of that stuff. So to your point, by the time I got to high school, I was really in the books. AP
Yes.
classes. I went to Bowie High School. Shout out to Bowie High School. I took 5 AP courses in my junior year in high school, and then 5 AP courses my senior year, and ended up graduating valedictorian my senior year in high school. Class of
Come on
2014.
now. Come on now.
Yes.
Let's just take a minute to pause and celebrate the excellence in education, okay?
Yes.
You're not just
It's
talking to
very
somebody
important.
who is well versed in his musical career, but who is extremely educated. And
Mhm.
I have always admired that about you as an individual and just your family, how you all really prioritized education. You know what I mean? That was very
Yes.
important to you, to your family. And it was like, okay, you might make it in the music industry, but let's make sure you got some brains too.
Yep.
We gonna work every aspect and every
Hmm.
angle of who you are.
Yes.
We gonna tap into that. Let's just make sure,
Right. You got all the other
and
bases covered. Yes.
exactly all the basics. And your mama now. We were talking. She's like, yeah, they try to call us Joe Jackson,
Yes.
and
Joseph
so
Eaton. Yes. And they still call themselves that to this day, and we hate it. We hate it. But yeah, they were
oh
not
my
as hard
gosh.
on us as Michael Jackson's dad was. But they joke and like
No,
to
no,
call,
no, no. Yes,
which is hilarious.
exactly, exactly. And I
Yeah.
can attest to that because I was there. So no, it was
Yes.
no
Exactly.
abuse, no abuse. But
Yeah.
they did not play though at the same time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Did not
Yep.
play, did not play.
Yep.
So I want to ask you, okay, so I know that you and your sisters, you all had your group, and the name of that group was
Oh, it was Trilogy. Yes.
Trilogy. Yes. Trilogy. So make sure you all check out that. It's on
Yes.
Apple I'm saying podcast. Apple Music. Make sure you
Mm-hmm.
download that. Even to this day, my kids are like, "Can we listen to them? Can we
Already.
listen to them?" I'm like, that, which is, you guys just sound great. But I
Thank
want to
you.
talk to you about just how you have developed and evolved in your musical journey?
Mhm.
Because I know you all started singing in church and all the things, and doing all of the even I've seen you all like at school events and all that.
Mhm.
But just transitioning from just being a gospel artist and in a group,
Mhm.
and as close as you all are, I think for me, just being an outsider looking in, at what point did you say it's time for me to pivot or
Mhm.
transition? And not just transition when it comes down to the genre, but also you being on your own. Like,
Mhm.
because it was always the three of you all singing together. And,
Right.
I think that there is some things like, as the public, we kind of see it as, oh yeah, he doing his own thing, or they're doing their own thing for different groups we've seen throughout the years. But
Mhm.
I don't know that enough conversations are had about what that looks like behind the scenes. Like,
Right.
was there a conversation? Did you say, I'm really feeling like I want to do something on my own? Were the girls like, we don't want to do this no more, so go
Mhm.
ahead? Like, I'm very curious as to what that looked like and just the,
Yeah.
the whole transition.
Yeah. So that's a great question. I think as far as the three of us are concerned, we were just as much individual artists as we were a collective group in a lot of ways. I think most people only saw the collective side of who we were because we all sung together in three-part harmony exceptionally well as children. So especially as kids, we were just the cute, adorable, like three-person group that people just admired and loved as we were children. And so I don't think on the flip side of that, people saw us, writing our own songs by ourselves, like in our own rooms. Shantae was writing, Sierra was writing, I was writing, and the different experiences that we all had growing up in relation to one another. And so I think that part of me, that individual artist side of me, was always there. It just was something
Mm.
really on display for the world to see like that. So when it was time to really switch, it wasn't something that was a completely foreign concept to me because I always saw myself as an individual artist just as much as a member of the group with my sisters and I. And so I think there was a point where we got to us a level in the group where we felt like maybe our individualism wasn't being seen as much. So you know how people do the
Mm.
Mary Marys and the BB and CC Winans, they go, yeah, yeah, y'all are good as individuals, but we don't want that. We just want y'all to sing together
Right.
and be a group together. And sure, as a
Right.
fan, there's a different perspective that you have as a fan on the outside looking in. But when you are an artist at heart, sometimes it's a little discouraging because you feel like people don't want to hear what you have to say by yourself. They're only interested in you, that part of you that exists with them. But that
Mm.
of you is something that's very, very essential to who you are as an individual. And sometimes you got to go the extra mile to fight for your individual voice to be heard in the context of all the great things that are happening around you as you are a part of a collective. And so I knew that I had something to say as an individual, just as much as Sierra does as well, and Shantae does. And I think that me taking a step away from the group, even if it's just for a moment, is important to show the two of them how they can evolve in their individual perspectives and show the world that, hey, it's not just Sierra that's a part of Trilogy. It's not just Stephen Thad that's a part of Trilogy. It's also Stephen Thad as an individual who has his own perspective and his own artistic tastes and his own way of singing vocal harmonies and writing lyrics and things that the world needs to see as well.
That was so
Yeah.
good. I'm so glad you shared that, because, and not that I ever felt like it was, oh, you just going off and being wild and doing your own thing. Not that it was even ever like that, but
Uh-huh.
sometimes as seeing you all through the entire process,
Mhm.
I know the girls, you had gone away to school, and then the girls
Mhm.
went away to school, and that kind of was like, okay, well, you doing your thing, and you doing your thing, and everybody
Right.
kind of was doing their own thing. So it wasn't, like a shocker, like, oh my gosh, they fell out. he doing his own
Right.
project.
And
You know,
to your point,
it was never like that.
right. To your point, you had a closer view because you are very close to our family, and you all's family means so much to us as well. And you grew and you watched us grow up, so you got to see a little bit more than the average person would, as far as even us going to different colleges and different universities and spending time away from each other. Sometimes it was more than just a semester. Sometimes it was like the summer for me. So there were times where
Hmm.
I didn't go home for maybe like a year, close to a year, because right after the semester ended, I was in a summer program at school or something like that. So all of those things really highlight the individual experiences that we were forging. And I think you're seeing that manifest in the art, and in public display now.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it. And I must say that I've even seen how you have evolved in your solo career. Like seeing, where you kind of began and the imagery and all of that and where it has progressed to. And I am just so because I can see, almost like when you as a parent, you see your child as a child and then you start seeing them go through transitions and then
Hmm.
you see them mature, and it's like I can definitely see how you've even matured in your music career, and it
Hmm.
is so beautiful to see how things have just really progressed and how you've just become so much um how can I say it, I don't even know. It's become so much more rich and more deep, and just it's just been beautiful to see just the transitions as you started out by yourself, and then you went on to you did some singles. You were doing like some. I saw where you would be singing, but you would be singing other people's music, and
Yeah.
then you were kind of doing your thing, and
Uh-huh.
now to see where you are now. And I know that you mentioned, and I see excuse me, I see you posting about it too, but I know that you mentioned even in some information that you shared, the relationship that you had, or not relationship, but well, business relationship that you had with Dana, a guy named Dana,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just how he mentored you and just really has helped you through your career and all of the things. And if I'm not mistaken, he was with you all when you were a group as well, right?
Yes. So he was at we had sung at my great grandmother's funeral, and he came there, and I don't even know if he remembers me remembering this, but he was there and was like, he heard us sing, and he was looking for a different acts to help get his career started, as well as a producer. He was like, yo, he talked to my dad, he was like, yo, we got to get the kids in the studio. And so once that connection was made, we were uh driving up to Delaware to go visit him in his studio, and that's where we were really encouraged to start writing songs. Our parents really initiated that process, but Uncle Dana was the one who kind of brought it into higher gear because he does it every day. So we got to really see that process of how he writes music, and we were able to take that to our own journals and our own notes in our phones, and start writing and crafting lyrics for the songs that you hear on the Blank Script album, and my individual stuff as well. So he was a very, and still is, a very integral part of how our artistry has developed as a group and as individuals.
I love that. I love that. I think it's so vitally important to have the right people on your team,
Mhm.
because no matter what career path you choose, or no matter what, decision that you make in your life or whatever, having the right people to mentor you and guide you and kind of say, okay, let's work on this, or let's perfect that, or, have you considered this, is
Mhm.
vitally important. And like I said, I've seen a change even in your presentation, in the imagery and all the things like that. And so my I guess my question to you is, at what point did you say, okay, I want to go from this to this? Or was it more or less I was kind of doing it not as a hobby, but kind of just
Mhm.
figuring my way out? And now it's like, no, I'm doing this like I'm going all in. Was it
Mhm.
that, or tell me a little bit more about that process?
Got you. So I think it started out as like you were saying, me just trying to feel my way out. So I was doing a lot of covers in the beginning, just when I didn't have inspiration for writing necessarily per se, I would just cover people's songs just so I could get a feel of recording in Logic and looking at how they even wrote lyrics and choruses and melodies and things like that. And that really helped me get my production quality. It helped me perfect my production quality in a lot of ways. So for like the Rock Boy and Pop Man, a lot of those songs were covers. I think I maybe threw maybe one or two originals on both of those projects. But it was really just about me having fun making music without necessarily worrying about my brand per se, because it was just starting out. I was
Got it.
really trying to feel my way out. And then I always did know that I wanted to explore a lot of other genres in the beginning. So I started with more so rock leaning songs, at least the ones that I was familiar with growing up. And then I did the same for the pop EP that I did. But I did always know that I wanted to land on R&B for kind of the last phase of that era. And I wanted to do
Mm.
primarily original music for R&B, because R&B and gospel were so close to my heart growing up, especially back in the day. R&B and gospel sounded a lot more similar back in the late 90s and 2000s than those genres even sound like today. So a lot of the gospel music that I was listening to growing up sounded a lot like R&B. And so when I was in college and going through like the R&B albums of that time period, I was like, yo, this sounds just like Yolanda Adams. This sounds just like Mary Mary. This sounds like Kirk Franklin. It felt like a wonderful bridge. A connection was made for me to really
Got it.
cross over from gospel into R&B.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So I know that you currently have a new single out.
Yes.
And I have listened to it. I have it on repeat, on
Thank you.
rotation. And I am so excited because I'm gonna be honest, like when I first heard it, I was like, ooh, that's a bop. Ooh, I like
Uh-huh.
that. And then when you release, of course, the video and all of that, I mean the video, I said, let me find out. Honey, you took me all the way back to my days when I used to. I'm dating myself when we used to watch videos on BET, like that was a
Yeah,
whole show. Like, I mean, I was like, this video is amazing. I was watching that video, was like so hyped and so excited. I was clapping, I'm jumping up and down. I'm like, Mattea, control yourself, girl. Get it together. What are you doing?
I love it. I love
I love it. I was like, and then of course, the personal side of me was like, oh my God, Steve is all grown up. Oh my goodness.
Yes. You got two
It was
sides
all
now.
well, exactly. It was all the feelings. It was all the
I
things. I
love
was
that.
so excited about it. It was just really, really beautiful. And so I want to ask you, did you write that song or did somebody else write it? Or what was the inspiration for that particular for that song?
Got you. That's a great question too. So it was myself, Dana the dad, and then Dana J the daughter that wrote that song together. And so
I
we were
love it.
yeah, I had partnered with a UK label called Expansion Records. And they were interested in looking at some music from me. And so I originally sent them a bunch of tracks from my Love R&B album. And they were like, yeah, this is nice. This is really, really good. But we want a more like retro vintage R&B sound that we're looking for from the artists that we kind of are working with that will work well over in UK radio. And so they liked Do You Remember a lot, but they were like, do you got anything else? Like, are you working on anything that is kind of in that vein? And so I thought to myself, I was like, I know I did a lot of writing on my own for that particular project for Love R&B. But I was like, I wonder if Dana would be able to help me craft like a more mature sound for myself. And so I asked him and I was like, hey, like this label is looking for like a different sound from you. Think you can help me out with that? And of course he said yes. And Dana J came in and joined the party as well. And by that point, I had gotten used to being in that studio space so much. It was really nothing for me to sit down and get in the lab with them to really craft this sound. And so he laid the instrumental out. It was originally supposed to be for another song of mine that we were kind of brainstorming on, but I think he had the idea to maybe try and make it a completely new track from scratch. And that's how Smile was born. And the rest was really history after that. I think we kind of landed on the chorus first, and then we went back and did verse one, and then patched up verse two after the chorus was cemented. And that's how it was born. Back in, I want to say this was December of 2023. Yep.
Wow, in 2023.
Yep. That
That's crazy.
that
Because
long.
I think sometimes when we I mean, I'm not in the music industry like that, of course.
Mhm.
I wish I could. Now, if I could sing, let me tell you something. Now, if I had a fa la la in my spirit, honey, y'all would it would not
Oh,
be
fa la la la. I love
if I
that.
had a do re mi, honey, in my soul, y'all would not be able to touch me. And it's so funny because growing up, Stevie, you know I'm a mess.
Oh, that's
And
so
so,
funny. That was really. I gotta take. Wow.
I tell my husband all the time. I'm like, I used to sing when I was a kid. He was when I was younger, right? He's like, sing what? I said, I did, and I really did. Honestly, I was in the church
Uh-huh.
choir. I was in all the choirs. I went to shout out to the DMV. I was in the Temple Youth Choir. I was in the Largo High School Choir. Like
Mhm.
I've been singing, and
You've been
and it's
around.
so crazy. I've been around, and it's so funny because like so many of my close friends are like singers. Like,
They are.
I mean, I can be a background in the choir. That's about all you got for me. But in my soul,
In
in
your
my
soul.
ooh,
Hmm.
listen,
And that's what matters the most. That is what matters the
I
most.
wish I could hit a run. If I could, I would do it right now. But I want y'all to keep listening.
I love it.
But yes, so I want you to because I also like to I always tell people that when they listen to the podcast, I want you to be able to take something away. I want you to be not only just inspired but also encouraged.
Yes.
And I like to say, we drop gems around here. We give some, information that will help you progress in your life, family, or your work. And so I want you to speak for the next few minutes just to maybe the aspiring artist. I know you are still, climbing and doing all the things, but in my eyes, you are definitely there and you will continue just to grow and it's going to continue to just blossom and bloom and I'm super excited about even how far you will go in the industry. And so I just want you to maybe share some insight to maybe some other future or aspiring artists who are like, I like to sing. I've been singing it maybe in my church choir, or maybe I just been singing on the sidelines in the shower. You know what I'm saying? At karaoke night. But I'm ready to take my craft to the next level.
Mhm.
Maybe you can give some insight on what that looks like, or maybe what the process is, or
Oh
what
yeah.
has been helpful for you throughout this journey.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that. I think the first thing I would say is really take the time to really understand um like the difference between being a singer and being an artist. And I know that might be hard to really see on the outside looking in without having somebody to kind of guide you through that process. But you take the time to really like eliminate the distractions that are around you and have a conversation with yourself about really wanting to take that next step. Because there are a lot of differences than being a singer compared to being an artist. There's so much more that goes into artistry, even down to social media promotion and marketing and doing a lot of things on your own initially, especially when you're starting out. That record labels and execs are now looking for the artists to do on their own. Before, all you had to really do was sing well. And a lot of times, you didn't even have to look great either, because especially before the video era, the MTV era, and when music videos weren't really as popular, you didn't even have to really look the most attractive either. All you have to do was sing well. But today you gotta sing well, you gotta look nice, you gotta have like 3 to 4 or 5 different concepts for social media after your song is dropped, before your song is dropped. You gotta think about Google ads, you gotta think about Spotify ads, you gotta think about all of these things as an individual. So ask yourself how prepared you are for a career like that. Start there, and if after hearing all of that, if you say yes, like this is definitely still something that I want to do, take the time to learn your voice, whether that's with working with a vocal coach or even practicing songs from the artists that you're familiar with, see how your voice pairs in conjunction with the music that you hear. And don't be afraid to take the first step on your own. A lot of times, especially my generation, we feel like the door has to be open for us to walk through it, but sometimes you got to bust the door open. And you got to be
Mm.
in a lot of ways to take that first step. And no, you're not going to get everything. Everything's not going to sound like Beyonce or Kendrick Lamar, but taking that first step and putting that out into the universe will attract the right people to you who see how dedicated you are and see how serious you are about making a career for yourself. And they'll meet you there. They'll help you along the way. But you got to show the world that you're ready. And the example that I like to use is back when people really were only thinking about me in the context of a group, I had to take a step back and say, okay, I don't really have the money to hire a producer, a mixing engineer, a master engineer. So how can I do this myself? I did for the
Mm-hmm.
projects that I did, the Rock Boy, Pop Man, and Love R&B. I mixed, mastered. I laid all the instrumentation down because I didn't have enough money to hire musicians. I vocal produced,
Wow.
vocal tuned myself, vocal edited myself. I did all of that on my own because I knew that I would have fun doing it, and I knew that I had something to share with the world that came from me as an individual. And so once the right people saw that and heard that, they were like, "Yo, let me help you out. Like, let me get some musicians to help create a sound for you. Let me get you in the studio to help you
Yes.
build your sound because I know that this is something that you care about." And because you care about it as much, you care about your vision and your dream as much, I feel compelled to help you along the way. But you got to care. You got to care. You have to believe in
That's
yourself.
right.
You have to take the initiative to take the first step so that other people can see the greatness that is inside of you.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And I think that is, I wanted you to share that because I think sometimes, especially now in the social media era that we're in, people think I'm just going to go on live and just start singing, and then all the right people are going to come to me and they're going to want to sign me up. And
Right.
that has happened to a number of people,
Right.
right? But I think the piece that we don't often see is how long it takes for that to even happen.
Yep.
And so there are times when somebody can post one thing and it goes viral, but the percentage of that is very low. It's
Mm-hmm.
people, and I mean in anything that I've ever tried to do, especially now in the content creation and the evolving perspective podcast, all the things, the main thing that everybody always says is consistency is key.
Yep.
And
Yes.
so you constantly putting yourself out there, I know a lot of people who are artistic, are sometimes, I won't say always, but can be a little shy, or, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I love the entertainment. I love being in front of the people, but the logistics part, yeah, I don't want to do all that. And it's a lot of work. It really
Mm-hmm.
is. It's a lot of hard work. And, one of the reasons that I started this podcast was because not just to have conversations that entertain you, but also to be able to talk with real life people who are navigating their situations and their life situations, whether it's in
Yes.
their life and their family or their careers, and really showing people like it doesn't happen overnight. There are ebb
Mm-hmm.
and flows of life. There are challenges that come along the way. There's a lot of sacrifice and investing in yourself and in your craft that you have to do to get to where you want to be. And it takes a lot of hard work. It really, really does. And I think at the end of the day, like I've seen how, you have really been putting things out there, even on social media, from your videos to just lives, or just, I mean, just you posting about yourself, like, because I come from a sales background,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, you gotta be. They used to always tell us you have to ask for the sale. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you really do. And so when just seeing how you engage with your audience, even via social media, you all go download. You all go do, because people
Mm-hmm.
need direction. Because
Yeah.
if not, it's kind of like, oh, just do this. And so even if you are an artist or whatever you do, whether you're doing content creation, whether you're doing, singing, dancing, whatever, don't be afraid to ask people to engage with you, to listen, to get feedback. What do you all think about this? How does that resonate with you? What did you feel when you listened to this music? That type of thing, whatever your thing is. And so I'm just grateful that, what you bring to the table is not just the artistry, but definitely the sacrifice, the hard work, the determination, and just being well versed in all the things, as well as having balance in all that you do. You know what I mean? Because I don't think that people see all that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
were saying, that was a transparent moment. Like, when I started, I'm doing all the things because
Yeah.
trying to get it costs money to do stuff. Let's be honest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People think like, people will say all the time, "Oh, you should just do so and so," and I'm like, you do realize that ain't free, right? Like it takes
It's not
money and
free.
investing, and
Yes.
you got to get your coins saved up. Everybody
Hey,
ain't just sitting in a lap of luxury just waiting for an opportunity to invest in. Some of us are really using our hard earned money that we're working every day to pour into those things that we desire, and
mhm.
our passions to push those things forward. And it takes time and money. And so, I want you all to make sure that you are supporting Stephen Thad and all that he's doing. I want to make sure that you all are following him on all the
Yeah.
social media platforms, as well as downloading his music on Apple. I'm sure it's on Spotify and all the things. So
Hmm.
I want you to tell us where all everybody can find you on social media. If you have a website or anything like that, I want you to share with us. Or if you have any upcoming events that you would like for us to attend, please share that as well.
Yes. So you can definitely follow me on IG, TikTok, X. My username is at Steven_Thad there. You can follow me on Facebook, Stephen Thad. You can follow me on the streaming services, actually. Spotify. You can follow me. Apple Music, you can favorite me. There's like a little star in the Apple Music corner that you can hit. You can follow me on Amazon Music, pretty much anywhere that you stream, so that you can stay up to date with the new music that I have coming very soon. You can also follow me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Stephen Thad. You can subscribe to that channel so that you can stay up to date with any videos that I have coming out, which there will be more coming soon as well. And then once you follow me on all of those platforms, you can stay in the loop with Smile and all of the stuff that I have coming out and the performances and things of that nature that I have coming out for Smile. Because I always update those social media platforms with the information that I have for the music that I have coming out. But if you are, so I do have a performance at Hair Expo in Secaucus, New Jersey, the first weekend in May. If you are in that area,
Nice.
are looking to come through, I will be there on Saturday and Monday as well. I'll be posting that information on my social media accounts. So if you are following me, you'll get that information coming your way super soon. So you stay locked in with me. I want to build a community. I DM people back. I repost to my story. And I just want to get to know you all and as you get to know me as well.
I love it. I
Thank
absolutely love it. Steve, see, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all the work that you're doing and the hard work that you're putting in your career and all the things. And I just can't wait to see all the other things that unfold for you. Make sure you all go ahead on over to YouTube right now
you. Yes.
and download Smile, the video. The music is on there, and then there's the video on there as well.
Yeah.
Because first I saw I heard I was like, wait a minute, I don't see no video. Wait,
The video,
what?
right?
Because I
Right.
didn't realize that on YouTube you can listen just to music and it's not like an actual video. Because I
Right.
automatically think of YouTube as like visual. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this is just a song, which I liked it. I was like, but no, I saw a clip of like a video.
A
Where is
video.
that at? So so then I had to
Yeah.
go back and do another search and I found it or whatever. So it was really
Hmm.
good. So make sure you listen to both, do both. And I want you to listen I'm putting up my two fingers, snapping and all the things because your video has reached and has been viewed how many times?
So I think we just hit the 160K mark, maybe yesterday. So since it dropped,
Let's go.
360,000 times, which is insane. That's insane to even think about as a concept for a little old me. So y'all keep running the numbers up. Share it with anybody that you know will be interested in listening, and even the people that you don't know that will be that you think will be interested in listening. Share it with everybody, because I
Yes.
smile. I think that's really the message of smile is a smile will always brighten up your day, and having people in your life that encourage you to smile and are very interested in making sure that you're good and taking care of you, that's a beautiful thing to smile about, and that's what smile is about. So share it with everyone.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely share with everybody. And I think it's such a great message because of course, the thing about it is where we are with the climate and all the things that's going on.
Mhm.
We need some joy in our life.
Yes.
We don't need another sad song about somebody that
Yes.
left you and you out here by yourself. No pun intended. I'm just saying. But to
Hmm.
have some music that actually, like I said, got a little bop and it brings a
Hmm.
smile to your face. It's just all the things that make me so happy. And
Yeah.
so I am so excited about your future and all the things you will continue to do and the music that you will release and the lives that you will impact. Thank you so much, Stephen, for coming on to the podcast today. This has been so good. Such a
So good.
great conversation. I appreciate you taking time to chat with me and share with me all the things you got going on. And just like I said, just to see how you've evolved over the years has been such a beautiful sight. And I'm just so very proud of you and all the things that you're doing. If you have any final words that you would like to share, please feel free to do so. And then we will close on out.
Awesome. Well, I do want to say again, you and your family mean so much to my family and I. You're practically a blood auntie on my. That's how we look at you, and your family. And you
Oh,
this. And like you said, you've watched us grow up. And it just meant so much for you to even reach out to me to be on this platform and have this conversation with you, because I know how much you mean to my entire family, not even just me, but my mom, my dad, my sisters, my little brothers, everyone. So it was truly an honor to be here and talk with you today. Thank you so much. I love you
uh,
so
y-
much.
you are so welcome. I love you too. I love you too. Well, thanks again for listening and joining us for another episode of Evolving Perspectives podcast. It has been a delight speaking with Stephen Thad today. Make sure you are downloading, you are subscribing, and you are sharing us with all of your family and friends. And like I say at the end of every single episode, always remember to keep evolving. Until next time, y'all be easy. Thank you again for tuning in to Evolving Perspectives podcast. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, and downloading every episode every other Monday. You can tune in on YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, as well as a number of different streaming platforms. Thank you again, and always remember to keep evolving.